It's so sweaty in here. Hey guys, I just want to apologize for the lack of videos. Sorry about that, but we're back now. And today I'm going to be doing my August wrap-up. Pretty much all of the reading I got done in August was done during the Cramathon at the beginning of the month. I don't know why I thought that I would be able to read all of the books that I put on my TBR while I was packing and moving. It didn't happen. I have 6 books to show you. The first 5 I read during the Cramathon. Was that the Cramathon? No. Not the Cramathon, the Booktubeathon. I read them during the Booktubeathon. The first book I read was The Lover's Dictionary by David Levithan. I really like the concept of this book, like writing a love story as like definitions of words. Like the idea behind this book is really cool. It wasn't like mind-blowing or anything, but I did enjoy it. I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. I also read Where Things Come Back by John Corey Whaley. So this book, I was really excited to read. I've been wanting to read it for a while, and I did not really like it, which makes me feel like I'm just weird or something because I know a lot of people love this book. This book is already short, but I kind of felt like they just could have taken a whole chunk out of it. The beginning was interesting, and then the middle I just felt like didn't really need to exist, and then the last like 40 pages or so got exciting, but by that point I didn't really care that much about the story anymore because I wasn't that interested. I gave it 2 out of 5 stars. I also read Hope and Other Luxuries by Claire V. Dunkel and Elena Vanishing by Elena Dunkel. These are companion memoirs about Elena's struggle with an eating disorder. Elena Vanishing is Elena's story of her eating disorder from her point of view. Hope and Other Luxuries is written by Claire, Elena's mother, so it kind of explores her eating disorder and everything from her mother's point of view. I thought both of these books were very interesting. I read a lot of eating disorder memoirs, but I've never read one from like the point of view of like a mother or anyone other than the person suffering. I think it's important for people who are struggling to consider the effect that it has on other people. Obviously, it's not something you can help, but as someone who has struggled with an eating disorder in the past, I know that it's very easy to just be like, oh, this is only affecting me, and so it was really interesting for me to read this and see how other people experience it. I give Hope and Other Luxuries 4 out of 5 stars and Elena Vanishing 5 out of 5 stars. This is probably one of my favorite eating disorder memoirs that I've read. It did a really good job of not only depicting her struggle, it also did a really good job of showing how hard it is to be in recovery, and that like once you start eating again, it's not over, like your eating disorder is not done, which a lot of eating disorder like novels and memoirs I feel like don't do as well as this one did. My only criticism of this book is that there is a little bit of like a generalization that like most or everyone who has an eating disorder has been through like some kind of trauma or horrible time in their life, and while a lot of people have, I don't think that's necessarily the best thing to put out there because it can kind of alienate other sufferers who maybe haven't experienced that. But overall, both of them very enjoyable. Well, I probably shouldn't say that about an eating disorder novel. I don't know, it was good. The next book I read in August was Falling Into Place by Amy Zhang. This book is about a girl who tries to commit suicide, and she ultimately ends up in the hospital, and so you kind of get the different perspectives of like her family waiting for her to hopefully wake up and like wanting her to be okay. So I gave this book 3 stars. I have mixed feelings. It wasn't like excellent by any means. I found the story to be pretty cliched. I also found the narration to be pretty problematic. It's mostly told from another student's point of view. They weren't really close or anything, but he's like kind of in love with her, you know, that kind of thing. It's very like omniscient, like he seems to know a lot more things than he should. And then sometimes it's not told from his point of view. I don't know, I found it to be very problematic and kind of distracting, and the story itself was pretty cliched. It's a decent read if you're wanting to read something like this, but I definitely wouldn't, but I would definitely recommend other books on the subject before recommending this one. The last book I read in August was Paperweight by Meg Haston. This is another book about a girl who has an eating disorder. I don't know what my deal was this month. I just wanted to read some heavy books, I guess. This novel follows Stevie. She has just entered an eating disorder treatment center, but she has plans to commit suicide on the anniversary of her brother's death, which she thinks is her fault. This was a book that I loved more the more I thought about it. It's a pretty powerful novel. I really enjoyed it. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. But now I want to say more like 4.5, because the more I thought about this book, the more I loved it and was like moved by it. So maybe 4.5. I also started a couple of books in August that I have not finished yet. The first one being House of Leaves by Mark Z. Danielewski. And then I also started Everything I Never Told You by Celeste Ng. Real quick, I'm gonna do my TBR jar pick. There's not very many in here. Ah. A book written by someone under 30. Cool. Alright guys, that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. Let me know in the comments what you read in August, or if you read any of these books that I talked about and have any thoughts. I would love to hear them, and I will see you guys with another video soon. Bye! If you couldn't tell from the background, this is my new apartment, so things are set up a little bit differently. I'm still trying to figure out a good place to film. I don't think I like right here. I'm going to be playing around with that a little bit. Let me know if you see a background that you like in the comments eventually, because that would be cool.